All right, let's drop that system audio down to there. Let me know if that music's annoying, or just trying out a few things, seeing how the stream goes. Let's get rid of that timer. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's Nick here, 45 Degree Sailing, and this is our 45D weekly live. Not that you can tell that because this isn't up. There we go. Much better. This is our 45D weekly live, and today we are hitting part 2 of check-in, check-out of the weekly email series that's been going on. So last week before, because last Tuesday was itinerary planning, the week before we did check-in and check-out, but it was just the discussion went on for so long, and I was like, you know, whatever. So we just decided that we'd do all of check-in and then we did it after that. So yeah, that's where we're at. So look, couple of different things here. Obviously, I've got the TV going on in the background with one of our little videos on. Blair's just messaged me and told me it looks weird, so I don't know if it's distracting, then we'll leave that out, but I've also got some overlays coming up anyway. We've got Peter Mattheodakis. I would really like to know how to say that. Boyan, greetings, welcome there. Hi there on Peter. And Boyan, we've got 2 Boyans. Very good. Finally, I didn't miss half the stream this time. This is great. Great. Excellent. Good to have you all here. Not a lot of people signing on this early, so that's cool. All right. Well, we're going to roll into the cutscene, and then we're going to get right into this process. Okay, so check-in and check-out. Huge part of chartering, absolutely huge part of chartering. And what was really great about this actually, and I'll run this while I'm talking, is because we covered the check-in last week, of course, and we talked about, we went through the whole list of stuff, talked about doing the video scan, and talked about, you know, videoing through the boat so that you could see any, you know, you'd record any damage or things that you missed, just to see, and then when you finished up at the end of the week, you'd be able to review back to that. Now, I just did a check-in and check-out last week because I was on the yacht sailing with Knut and then with Blair and Mahina and my daughter, Rokura, and so we rented a yacht, you know, so like whatever, but I was renting a yacht. I don't often do a check-in and check-out with a new technician or anything like that, so it was really good to roll through it. So I'm going to throw this up just so we can, you know, have that while I'm talking. But effectively, we did I did exactly this. I did a scan inside, and I said, look, I may as well follow my own advice. This is how it goes. So I did a scan inside and checked all of the things. One thing here I did, and I might even put this up on, I checked behind the door. I had someone last season come across a hole in the back of a door or in the back of a wall. They didn't open the door and go into the cabin, so they didn't see it on the check-in. And they definitely didn't create that hole. Anyway, so it was just another thing, but you can see I'm pointing out scratches and bits and pieces there. So I'll leave that running while we're talking about that as well. But this is what we did. Is we checked out stuff and like, hey, that door wasn't closing properly. I'll check that out in the review too. That's interesting. But that's what I did. I went around everywhere, checked the screens, checked the blinds. All right, so we know that everything is in working order, because if you don't, and then you come back to the boat and then you get into the check out and he goes around and does a better check than he did in the beginning, then all of a sudden you've got like, oh, well, actually, no, I didn't pull that screen over the whole week, so I didn't break it. But who's that? What if you get a different technician? This happens sometimes, is you might think, oh, this dude's really chill. And I get this a lot because like this technician, he knew me from YouTube. I didn't know him. And he was like, oh, you know everything. And I'm like, no, look, do your thing. And because Knut was there and he was doing training, it's another check-in for him. I said, do your thing. This was a big one. I got into that engine bay and I wanted to see that there was no residue or engine leaking or anything like that underneath. So, you know, this is part of checking the raw water filter and the bilges. It's something I'm going to do just in in general. So it was really cool for me to go through that process again as a fresh, fresh charter company and fresh charter. So, and this was a Grand Soleil. I hadn't sailed a Grand Soleil before or in a long time. I think I've sailed a couple. Anyway, it was a new boat. So that was a big part of it. Checking light switches, checking hatches, and all of this. So I'll leave that running on there. Now, what I did miss out. I wonder if I can play this on faster speed. Start from hide, stay hidden, loop, autoplay. No, it doesn't give me a speed, but that's fine. I'll just leave it rolling through because I've never actually shown people one of these that I do, and this is what I do so that you know what's going on. There's me. So that's a big part of the check-in process. Yeah, and I found that thing. It was broken, and I couldn't figure out what it was from. I found out what it was from later in the week, but it was just a pump bottle. There we go. So following these things, going through the process is really important. Now, this takes time. This is a, what? I don't know how many minutes video. That'll be a 5-minute video there. Then I've got a video on the outside as well to check all the different things. I'm checking cushions and everything. These, this time you take right here and now is really important. Even down to the fact that I just scanned over the VHF there and I saw the covers. Now I've seen inside the chart table. If they say to me, oh, it was in the chart table, like for instance, we'll talk about this soon, but I didn't have, oh, that's not there. I didn't have the yacht keys, okay, when I first got on. So this was something I forgot to check for. So we'll talk about that. But anyway, that's that check-in and check-out video. And I'll just sort of scan through there. You see, we go through the bathrooms. I go outside and we're like, right, I'm gonna go upstairs. And I started doing the look around up here. I'm looking at, lines, position, everything. You're just wanting to see all of the boat. You want to see all of the boat. Boyan says, what boat was that? That was the Grand Soleil 44 Performance. And it was nice. I really, really enjoyed sailing this boat. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're just doing a full walk around. So I hadn't finished the outside one when I came back, and the technician was like, you were from the YouTube. So it just kind of rolled on from there. But all of these things are really important, okay? Just scanning everything. I checked that out specifically because someone smashed that out on my boat last season and then complained that it was not their fault and everything like that, and or maybe it was already like that. But yeah, this is just all the bits and pieces. The hull on the bow is really important as well. They've got these nice rub strips on these boats to protect as well, but scanning the bow for any chips and dings from the anchor, that's really important. The sail bag as well, this is something that rips often. And even to the whole walk around here, in the case that I get to count all the fenders and I can go back and see exactly what it is. And there was Josip, our technician, and we wanted to shake hands and say hi. So anyway, that was the long and short of that scan from the inside. And other thing is, when he's explaining technical stuff about the boat, then you listen. And if it's doing technical stuff like it might be air conditioning or anything like that, or all of this, you can just record it, okay? Record it like I did there. There's no shame in that. You can just record it and go, hey, I just want to record this so that I've got it on record. It's not on record. It's so that you can refer back to how they told you to operate something. If it was the generator or the bow thruster or the breaker valve, all of this sort of stuff. Vincent says, evening, Nick. Hello, Vincent. Welcome to the stream. So if I just pop there, since I'm on this train, I might as well show the outside scan. This is important stuff, see? We've got chips and dings there. I've got the engine running to make sure that it runs and warms up and does all its thing it should do while we're doing this process. So scanned along the whole side of the boat. I got off the boat. In this case, I was able to because it was a finger pair. And just getting a visual on all of that stuff so that you can check stanchions, it doesn't take that long to do. All right, so that was huge. Okay, now a couple of things I missed and I learnt from this check-in. Yacht keys, okay? I forgot to ask where the yacht keys were, and they weren't in the folder, they weren't in the chart table. So Blair signed on as well. Evening all, he says. Get that comment up. What up, Blair? He's upstairs. There, that button there, yacht keys, yeah. So I just forgot, you know, and they hadn't put them on. So we ended up going back to the base and ended up grabbing, I messaged them, say, hey, where are the keys? He's like, they're not on the chart table. Anyway, so, and I had that video of the chart table to see that I hadn't lost them. So the yacht keys, it was just something I forgot to ask about. And it's good to have them just in case you want to lock the boat for your valuables and things like that. Extra lines. This was an issue for us because we were tied up with 3 black mooring lines, 10 meter lines, which was fine. And I saw the 50 meter anchor line down there in the garage when I checked it out, but I did not check for more lines. Like I should have, say, 225s as well, so I can use them as springs, you know, but extra dock lines in case I need to put springs out or whatever. We ended up using the 50 meter anchor line for that instead of because we didn't have another spring when we needed to come alongside for the springs. But that was a little bit like, oh, I forgot to ask that. So make sure you spy the extra lines or ask about them, because it's not that they don't want to give them to you. It's just they have either forgotten them or someone's borrowed them off there, especially with the winter charters. But yeah, the extra lines, and check the bilges. So why I had an issue with that, I'm just going to turn this off. I can see it's oh, that turned my TV off. Gosh, now I can't see, but I'm assuming you're still there because everything's still running, but my big monitor TV turned off when I turned it off with the